Today's yoga flow will be for Mercury retrograde. So for countering the effects of Mercury retrograde. So what is Mercury retrograde? First of all, it's not the only planet that can go in retrograde. I don't know if all of them can. I don't know. I'm no expert in that, but I have heard of other ones going in retrograde. And basically what that means is from Earth, it appears as though it's going backwards. Okay. And a lot of times people have a lot of negative connotations with that. If you know me, you know that I don't focus on the negative usually. If I do, I'm not there for very long. I try to really get myself out of it pretty quickly. And so I really believe in whatever you believe and whatever you think about, you bring about and you create more of. So it's really important for me to, yes, I understand that during Mercury retrograde, we might have more communication troubles. We might have technology issues. Okay, so things like that, like your computer breaking, your internet going down, having a breakdown in communication with a friend, things like that are a lot more likely to happen during Mercury retrograde, but it's not necessarily always a bad thing. Each Mercury retrograde kind of brings up something new for us to look at, but it also brings opportunities. Okay, so it's really important for me to focus on the ways that we can use this Mercury retrograde energy in a way that benefits us, right? Not something just to be super scared of and just hide from, right? So how can we use this energy to our benefit? So Mercury retrograde is a time for new thinking, connecting to your intuition, and bringing things to light so that you can rethink how you're doing things. Okay, so it might be like, oh, I gotta hate Mercury retrograde because all these bad things are happening. Well, think about maybe why are they coming to the surface? Okay, so whatever you are not changing, you're choosing. And I just saw this quote recently and I really love it. Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. And I think that ruffles some people's feathers because we don't want to believe that, right? But if you're not changing it, you are choosing it, okay? Because you're not choosing something else. So this is what the energy of Mercury retrograde, it can bring these things up to the surface. And let's think, is this something that we want to change? Or are we going to continue just to let it go on this way, right? Because sometimes, like say, for example, whenever you have miscommunication with a friend, if you decide, I'm going to actually bring this up and talk about it rather than just sweeping it under the rug, and this could be a friend or a partner or whatever, your relationship might actually get better because of that, right? Because you didn't run from it. So in this practice, what I want you to do is I want to give you the space to start noticing what's coming up to the surface so you can look at it and so you can see where it might be coming from. And if you see something that you don't like, then it's a reflection of our inner world. So especially whenever we see reflections in other people that we don't like, oh, she makes me feel this way or she does this to me. No, you're letting that person do that to you. Why? Probably because there's something within you that you need to address, right? So if somebody else is ruffling your feathers, don't blame it on that person. That's the easy way out. And that's the easy way for you not to have to do the work, right? But you're here because you want to do the work. So I want to create this space where you can look at it. You might not be looking at it in the yoga practice today, okay? But we're going to create that space and we'll do a gentle, nourishing yoga flow that will support you during this time that can be perceived as chaotic, okay? So it's going to be nourishing and grounding. I want to help change your perspective so that you can see it as an opportunity, okay? Instead of something that's just a negative. And slow down, unwind, nurture, and heal. All right, so let's do it. We're actually going to begin right here in Sukhasana. So easy seated pose. This is if you have a bolster or a couch cushion or something, you might want to sit on that. I like to turn sideways. Okay, and then cross the legs. Start to pull the heels back towards the body so you can pretty much rest your shins and your arches if that's available to you. And then pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Here you want to have a neutral pelvis. So you don't want the tailbone tucking under. That's why I usually like to sit on top of something, because it helps you to get a little bit more of a neutral pelvis. Okay, lift your rib cage up away from the pelvis and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Don't pull them down, just relax them kind of back and down. Okay, and then let's have the palms down on the knees, signifying a little bit more of a grounding energy. Have your chin parallel to the ground and close your eyes. Start to deepen your breath here. If possible, begin breathing in and out through the nose. Unless your nose is plugged up, then breathe however it's comfortable. But if possible, especially on the inhale, breathe through the nose. It helps you to breathe deeper. It also cleanses and purifies the breath as it comes in. Inhale as far as you can go comfortably, expanding the ribs in every direction. And then exhale as far as you can go comfortably, really grounding down into the earth. Just letting go. Inhale, expand. Exhale, release. Now let's take a cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Anytime throughout the class today, if you feel like you need to let go of something you've worked up to the surface, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Good. Setting the intention today to ground, nurture, and heal. So on your inhale, you can think I. Exhale, ground, nurture, heal. Good. So you can lower your head a little bit, blink your eyes open, do a big shoulder roll, inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, start to tip the pelvis forward. Your hands can be on the knees or they can come down to blocks or the ground. Okay, but what I don't want you to do is round the back and tuck the tailbone under. So instead, really make sure you're tipping the pelvis forward. It'll feel like you're lifting the tailbone up or sticking the booty out. Keep the shoulders plugged in. On your inhale, lengthen. And on your exhale, tilt the pelvis. Tuck the chin slightly. Breathe here. Relax the forehead, relax the eyes and the jaw. I ground, nurture, heal. Good. And then slowly come up. Switch the cross of the legs. So you can extend the legs out in front. Rock them a little bit from side to side. Put the other leg in front. Do a big shoulder roll. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, tilt the pelvis. Hands can be on the knees or come down in front. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, tilt. Plug the shoulders in. Tuck the chin slightly. Breathe here. Relax the forehead, eyes, and jaw. Good. And slowly come up, extend your legs out, and just rock them a little bit from side to side. And make your way onto your hands and knees. Can move any props off of the mat, out of the way. I'm actually going to come this way. Okay, so coming onto the hands and knees. Having your wrists directly under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Spread your fingers apart as far as you can comfortably. As you inhale, start to look out in front of you. Draw the chest forward, shoulders back. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, look out in front of you. Think about pointing the tailbone up towards the sky. Exhale, point the tailbone down or under as you round. Keep going, work with your breath. Inhale, look out. Exhale, round. 2 more. Getting the full expression of the pose here, so the full expansion of the spine. And round, last time. And then come back to center. All right, now again, fingers are spread apart as far as they can comfortably. Bring your knees as wide as your mat and your big toes can touch. Bring your hips back towards your heels. Okay, now they might not touch, that's okay. I like to have the elbows out to the sides and then make a triangle with the thumbs and the pointer fingers, but you definitely don't have to get fancy. Forehead can come to the ground. If the forehead doesn't reach the ground, stack the fists and place your forehead onto the top fist. So just modify as you need to. If this isn't feeling good, just come out of it a little bit. Take a couple breaths here, and as you do, really think about expanding the ribs. Expand the ribs on the back of the body as you inhale. And soften as you exhale. I ground, nurture, heal. Good. Come back up to the hands and knees. Bring your knees back towards the center. Spread your fingers apart, knuckles point, pushing down into the mat. Walk your knees back a couple inches and curl the toes under. Lift your knees off the mat. Now push into your knuckles and send the hips up and back. Let your head hang loose. So your ears are in line with your upper arms here. And start to walk the dog. So we're in a downward facing dog, but we're pedaling out the feet, just opening up the backs of the legs a little bit, waking them up. Good. Full stretch. And then start to walk the feet forward towards your hands. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. Turn the toes in just slightly so the outside edges of the feet are parallel to each other. Hands to your shins. Inhale, come halfway up to a monkey pose. Bend your knees, grab your opposite elbows, and exhale, fold forward. Really tip the pelvis forward so that the tailbone's pointing up. Upper body is heavy. Let the elbows just hang down heavy towards the ground. Pretend as though there's a weight attached to the crown of the head, pulling the head down. So it is very passive in the upper body. Good. Now bring your hands back to the shins. Inhale, come up halfway, nice and slow. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Push down into the feet, and then inhale, come up again slow. Find gazing points all the way up. And then exhale, circle your hands together in front of your heart. Now just come back to your breath here, letting some of the blood kind of drain out of the head. I tend to get dizzy whenever I come up, so if you do as well, just always take a couple breaths before you begin moving, really pushing down into the feet. Good. Take a cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. All right. And then bring your arms by your sides and step your feet towards each other. Okay. So here you can either bring your big toes together to touch if that feels good for you, or have your feet separated about fist width or like 1 to 2 inches apart. Okay. Lift your toes, spread them apart, grip them down to the mat, and then go to the outside and the inside of the feet. So just kind of shifting the weight on the feet so you can feel all 4 corners of the feet. From here, make sure that you're not hyperextending or locking the knees back. So just have a gentle squeeze in the quads. Okay, neutral pelvis, meaning you're not tucking the tailbone under, your booty's not popping out. Okay, so do a neutral pelvis. Lift your rib cage up. Notice that probably brought your shoulders up. So now relax the shoulders, arms by the sides, palms facing the body, chin parallel to the ground. Come back to your breath here. Again, anytime, feel free to take a cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Think about drawing the lower belly very gently in and up. As you inhale, expand the ribs in every direction. And as you exhale, ground down. I ground, nourish, heal. So really focusing on that affirmation, that intention, connecting to the earth. So the more grounded we are amongst the chaos, the easier that the Mercury retrograde is going to be, and the easier it will be to see the opportunities and see it as an opportunity. All right, now from here, I'm going to do a pose called Half Moon A. This is a really nice side stretch. So as you exhale, push down into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, and then exhale, lean over to the right. Push into the feet, inhale, come up, switch wrists. Exhale, other side. Inhale up, exhale, let the arms float down by the sides. Do a couple shoulder circles. Good. Now from here, ground down into all four corners of the feet, and then start to lift your left heel. So bring your left heel up to the opposite kind of inner calf. Okay, so from here, again, make sure not to hyperextend the bottom knee. So squeeze the quad a little bit just to take out any hyperextension. Okay, so the right knee's pointing forward and then the left knee starting to turn out. Neutral pelvis, lift the rib cage, bring your hands to your heart. So please feel free to stay here. If you're a little wobbly here, stay here. It's all about getting grounded. If you need a little bit more challenge, you can start to bring the foot up to the calf or up to the inner thigh. Find a gazing point, somewhere to stare to help remain focused and keep your balance. I ground, nourish, heal. Let your lips form a slight smile. If you fall out of it, it's okay. Just come back to it. And release. Walk it out. Okay, so strong base in the left foot. Lift the toes, spread them apart, grip them down. And then start to turn out the right knee. Let the right heel go to the inner thigh. Neutral pelvis, lift the ribs, hands to the heart. Stay there, or slide it up the calf or the inner thigh. Find your gazing point and breathe. I ground, nourish, heal. You might notice one side's more wobbly than the other. It's normal. And release, walk it out. All right, so last couple of standing poses. Bring your feet into a wide stance. So bring your hands out into a T, point your fingertips down, have the outside edges of the feet below the fingertips, hands to the hips. Turn your right foot out so that your right heel is in line with the arch of the back foot, okay, and your right foot's parallel to the long side of the mat. Start to bend into the right knee. Keep the right knee directly on top of the ankle, okay? So don't let it turn in. Keep it there and then only pull the back hip back as far as you can go without the knee turning in. Level out the hips, so don't have one hip kind of cocked up, okay? So have them level. Again, keep that knee back, lift the rib cage, arms up and parallel to the ground. Gaze out through the right middle finger. Breathe. This is called Warrior Two. Really ground down. I ground, nourish, heal. Good. Straighten the leg, let the arms float down and switch it out. So turn the right foot in, the left foot out. Turn the back toes in slightly. Left heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Bend the knee. Try to have it right on top of the ankle, not past. Then pull the back hip back just as far as you can go without the knee turning in. Arms up, parallel to the ground. Try not to be leaning either way. Gaze out through the left middle finger and breathe. I ground, nourish, heal. Relax the face. Okay, straighten the leg, let the arms float down. Now, have both feet just kind of turned out at an angle, so like at a 45-degree angle. We're going to move into, it's called goddess pose, sumo squat, horse pose, whichever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Don't need to call it anything really. Okay, so start to squat down, keep the knees back. What we don't want to do is let the knees come in or let the booty pop out. So try to slide down like you're sliding your back down the wall. Again, thanks to my student Kaylin for giving me that cue. I love it. Knees back, knees are pointing out in the same direction as the toes, hands to the heart. Breathe. Ground down. I ground, nourish, heal. Keep breathing. Let's just hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly straighten the legs. I know you want to do it fast. And then turn the heels out just a little bit. So now the outside edges of the feet are parallel to each other, hands to the hips. Do a big shoulder roll. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, start to fold forward. You can bring your hands to your shins. Inhale, lengthen like a monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Now you might not touch the ground here. Doesn't matter. It's not the point. Just let the head hang loose. Keep the shoulders plugged in. Let the upper body really be passive. Good. Start to come halfway up, hands to the shins or the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to your hips, bend your knees a little bit. And then inhale, slowly come up. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Find a gazing point. Breathe here again, letting some of the blood drain out of the head. And then heel toe your feet towards each other. And just walk it out a little bit. Make your way up towards the front of your mat. Arms by your sides. Come back into your mountain pose. I ground. Nourish. Heal. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. You can bend your knees, tip your pelvis forward, point your tailbone up, hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway, monkey. Bend your knees, plant your hands. Exhale, step back to a downward facing dog. Push the hips up and back. And come down to the hands and knees. Come to seated, please. Again, into your cross-legged pose. Easy seated pose, so you can either sit on the floor, sit up on a bolster or couch cushion, whatever you need. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Lift the rib cage up, relax the shoulders. Now, we're going to do a really grounding, balancing breath. If you've never really done breathing practices, you might find it pretty weird, okay? But I'm just going to tell you now, a lot of things in yoga you're going to find weird, okay? So the weirder you feel, the better probably you're doing. Okay, so it's called alternate nostril breathing. Now, I'm not going to mirror you because it makes me kind of confused because it's really hard to do that. However, if you're watching on Facebook while I'm filming this live, then it will be mirrored for you, okay? Because Facebook flips it. All right, so what we're gonna do, you can just watch me first. With the right hand, we're gonna point the pointer and the middle finger up, and that we're gonna place in the center of the forehead. With the right thumb, we're going to close off the nostril as we breathe in through the left. And then with these other fingers, with the ring finger, you're gonna close the left nostril and then exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Now I know if you're watching this on YouTube or the membership, then it's going backwards, right? I'm not mirroring you. So just take it in. So do as I say, kind of not as I do. All right, so again, let's bring the pointer finger and the middle finger up to the center of the forehead. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna inhale left, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale left. And that's one full round, up and down, okay? So up and down, up and back. All right, so let's start here. I like to kind of hook my right arm onto my chest. Let's exhale to begin. Close the right nostril. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. That's one round. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. That's two. Keep going. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Close your eyes if that feels okay. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Keep going on your own. If you feel like you can breathe in longer, breathe in longer. Don't rush it. Nice full inhale, nice full exhale. One more full round. Last time you exhale out of the left, you're done. And bring your hands down to your knees. I usually have to sniff and like pull my cheeks away to open my nostrils, so do what you need to do. And let your palms be open on your knees. Just notice how you feel. You might feel kind of like a lightness, especially where in the forehead or in the sinus area. But you might feel something else. There's nothing wrong with how you're feeling. That breathing practice, especially if you liked it, is something you can do anytime. Anytime you're feeling like you need more grounding, you can use that before your meditation practice or even as your meditation practice. So let your head slowly hang forward. Blink your eyes open. And lift your head and gently lay down onto your back. Once you get back, bring your knees in towards your chest and just rock a little bit from side to side. Now extend your legs flat onto the mat, shoulders away from the ears, soften the chest, let the palms be open, hands a little bit wider than the mat, feet about as wide as the mat falling out to the sides. Close your eyes. Coming into our final resting pose where you let everything you just did over the last 30 or so minutes assimilate body, mind, and spirit. So you can really get the most out of your practice. Here, just let the ground carry your body weight. Be still. Let yourself drift off to that place right before you fall asleep. We'll be here for just a few minutes. Relax, release, let go of any tension. Start deepening your breath. Take a cleansing breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And bring some movement back to the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. If it would feel good, you could do a full body stretch, reaching your arms overhead and your feet in the opposite direction. Bend your knees, slowly roll onto your right hand side, using your right arm for a pillow. And with the strength of your arms, slowly push yourself up to seated. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Coming to an easy cross-legged pose, put your non-dominant leg in front. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Sit up tall. I ground, nourish, heal. And circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer, and just take a moment to notice how you're feeling at the end of your practice. And bow your head. Thank yourself for taking this time out of your day to do something so good for your body, your mind, and your spirit. The energy within me acknowledges the energy within you, and I thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice today. Namaste. If you want more information on my upcoming retreats and teacher trainings, you can go to crystalgray.me. Have a great day.